Good evening, our beloved viewers. Welcome to the 9 p.m. English News Edition brought to you live from RTD channel. Let's have a look at the top stories of tonight. The first Djiboutian pilgrims departs for Saudi Arabia. And on the international scene, Israel's close the schools in Palestine. Those were the headlines, and thanks for joining us. The first group of Djiboutian pilgrims left the country last night to perform the Hajj of the year 1446 of the Hijra, corresponding to 2025, marking the fulfillment of the fifth pillar of Islam made up of 350 faithful. This first contagion was created at Djibouti International Airport by the Minister of Muslims Affairs, Mumin Hassan Abre. And according to the ministry's Hajj department, the Djiboutian pilgrims will stay in Medina for the 3 days before continuing to Mecca, where they will perform the Umrah. The ministry had set up several committees to ensure optimum supervision of pilgrims in the holy places. This included the Supreme Committee, the Media and Relations Committee, the Awareness Committee, the Service Committee, and a Medical Committee as well. Their mission is to guarantee adequate living conditions and provide the necessary services to the faithful from the Republic of Djibouti. And according to the ministry, some 1,400 Djiboutian pilgrims will perform their Hajj this year. The second flight carrying pilgrims is scheduled for next Tuesday, May 13. And in his remarks, the Minister of Muslims Affairs, Mumin Hassan Barre, announced that the first group of Djiboutian pilgrims will depart this evening from Djibouti International Airport. He wished them a blessed Hajj and thanked the Almighty for allowing the ministry to accompany the pilgrims this year. He emphasized that the government has made every effort to provide pilgrims with a safety and comfortable environment so they can perform their Hajj in a good condition. He did not fail to note that special efforts have been made to improve facilities in Mina, including tents equipped with doors and air conditioning. In pursuing his remarks, the Minister of Muslims Affairs, Mumin Hassan Bari, also indicated that mobile applications have been made available to pilgrims to facilitate the performance of the Hajj rites in Mecca and Medina as well. This application, he said, also helped them to find the way in case of loss or illness. They were designed, he said, by the Djibouti Hajj team to strengthen communication between pilgrims and the office. And finally, the minister invited all pilgrims to worthily represent Djibouti and bring honor to the country during this special spiritual journey. In other news now, the government of Djibouti has taken a new strategic step with the official presentation of its roadmap for strengthening human capital, organized by the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity in partnership with the World Bank and sectoral ministries. The national workshop mobilized all institutional players around a common objective to strengthen human investment at every key stage of the life cycle in order to consolidate gains and respond to structural challenges. 2 days of collective reflection and strategic alignment brought together experts, technicians, public decision makers and technical partners around a common objective to strengthen investment in key areas of human capital. And the first day, which was both technical and participative, provided an opportunity to present the results of the mapping of existing interventions and to structure the expected result chains with a particular focus on the key periods of human development. The second day saw a high-level strategic restitution in the presence of the Minister of Economy and Finance, Ilyas Moussa Dawale, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Uluf Ismail Abdo, Mona Osmana, then a Minister of Women and Family, Ms. Fatou Fall, World Bank representative, and Mr. Jose Barauna, United Nations coordinator in Djibouti. At this day of strategic restitution raised the discussion to a political and institutional level with a strong call for coordination, sustained investment, and accountability for results. And the World Bank representative, Mrs. Fatou Dial, addressed the issue, stating that the World Bank was very pleased with the government of Djibouti's strong focus on people in its development plans. She did not fail to explain that the new roadmap to strengthen human capital was a big step forward and showed a real commitment from the government. She said the World Bank appreciated that this plan was prepared in a way that involved many people and ministries. And for her part, the Minister of Social Affairs, Ulufa Ismail Abdo, expressed her position during this workshop. She said that the government was proud to launch this important roadmap for human capital development. She explained that this plan shows Djibouti's strong will to invest in its people and to make sure everyone has a chance to grow, learn, and succeed. The minister did not fail to mention that the workshop was a great example of teamwork between ministries and partners like the World Bank. According to her, it was important to bring together expert and decision makers to share ideas and build a plan that works for all stages of life. And according to the Minister of Economy and Finances, Ilyas Moussa Dawale, investing in human capital is essential for Djibouti's long-term development. He explained that the country cannot grow economically without first taking care of its people by improving education, health, and job opportunities. He said that the new roadmap was a strong and necessary step toward that goal. And according to the minister Dawali, it was important that this plan focus on all parts of the build real and lasting progress. Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dawali also pointed out that this kind of plan needs a strong coordination between all sectors and ministries. He said it is not enough to work separately. Everyone has to move in the same direction with a shared goal and create results. Health. Now, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble, traveled to the Dakhil region with a large delegation to inspect the health facilities. Upon his arrival, he was warmly welcomed by the region's prefect Hassan Abdi Roble and the vice president of the regional council Ibrahim Guru Abdallah. The minister explained that his main objective was to visit the health post, especially those located in the most remote areas. The mission began with a visit to the Abaitu health post, where he was welcomed by the region's chief medical officer, the post nurse major, and local leaders. Accompanied by the nurse major, he visited the various departments, observing the progress of health activities and the challenges encountered in terms of care, prevention, and the health awareness. The delegation then visited the Galamo health post. Here too, the minister took the time to talk to the healthcare staff, praising their commitment and the involvement of the local communities in managing their health. He also congratulated the head nurse on her professionalism and promised a gesture of recognition for her dedication. The visit ended with a working meeting with the medical teams from the two posts. The meeting provided an opportunity to take stock of specific needs and to examine the means to be placed. And after Abaitu and Galamo, the Minister of Health, Ahmed Roble, accompanied by his delegation, visited the sub-prefecture of Yoboki. The visit had two main objectives: to inspect the local health posts and to bring to a close the specialist medical caravan organized on its premises. And upon their arrival, the delegation was warmly welcomed by the local authorities, including the prefect, the vice president of the regional council, the sub-prefect of Yobuki, members of parliament, a local elected representative, customary representative, and a large crowd who had come to celebrate the event. All along the route to the health post, the population expressed their support and gratitude by cheering on the minister and his delegation. This exceptional mobilization reflected the enthusiasm of the people who came not only from Yoboki but also from neighboring villages such as Garabus, Galafi, and Daduba. The huge turnout on the morning of Thursday, 8 May, was to thank the President of the Republic and his government for organizing the medical caravan, which gave thousands of citizens access to high quality specialist care. And at the end of his visit, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble, took the floor to express his satisfaction at the progress made with the health infrastructure in Yuboki. He did not fail to point out that the renovation and extension of the local health post demonstrate the government's commitment to improving health conditions in the most remote regions. In his view, this investment is essential to ensure that every citizen has access to quality healthcare regardless of where they live. The minister also recalled the importance of the specialist medical caravan, which has enabled thousands of people, often far from major health centers, to benefit from a free specialist consultation. This initiative is just the beginning, he said. The government will continue its efforts to improve access to quality care throughout the country. Our aim, said the Minister of Health, is to improve not only the infrastructure but also the training of healthcare staff so that every patient can receive the best possible care. And at the end of this significant day, the Minister of Health, accompanied by the regional authorities, organized several meetings with the people of the region. The main meeting took place at the Yoboki sub-prefecture, attended by women midwives, oracles, religious and customary leaders. The minister took the floor to respond to the concerns raised and the concern of women, of course. And still with the national news, as part of the fight against irregular immigration, a large-scale joint operation was conducted earlier this morning by the National Police and the Coast Guard. The operation targeted several remote and hard-to-reach areas identified as harboring illegal immigrations. This action is part of the implementation of the directives of the Minister of the Interior, who announced last month a 1 month deadline for illegal immigrants to leave the country. In accordance with this ultimatum, targeted operations began today at several transit points and known residence of these individuals. A total of 180 illegal immigrants were arrested during this initial operation. All were transferred to the Niger Administrative Detention Center for deportation. As a reminder, the Djiboutian authorities tightened their immigration policy last April in response to the significant increase in the number of illegal immigrants respecting in the country. However, the government reaffirmed its commitment to respecting human rights in implementing this policy. Sensitive areas such as mangrove were raided this morning thanks to a reinforced police presence, which located several gathering sites. These silent operations will continue as long as is necessary to control migratory flows and address this growing phenomenon. Colonel Yahya Mohammed Magari, a technical security advisor to the Minister of the Interior, held a press briefing to review ongoing operation against illegal immigration. He stated that the operation specified that the police had targeted several sensitive and hard to reach areas known to shelter illegal immigrants. According to him, 180 individuals had been arrested and transferred to the Naga detention center. They affirmed that these actions will continue in the coming days, emphasizing that the operations were carried out firmly but with strict respect for human rights. Finally, he did not fail to reiterate that national security and the control of migratory flows remain a priority for the authority. The Trans Africa Caravan, an international tourist convoy, made a week long stop in Djibouti as part of its grand journey across Africa. Departing from Germany, it has already crossed Turkey, Iraq, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Djibouti. It will then continue its journey to Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and finally South Africa. And during their stay in Djibouti, the travel visited several of the country's major tourist sites: Oboh, Tajurwa, Randa, Lak Asal, and the road leading to spectacular Lakabi.
Altogether, 24 people traveling already about 2 months in our own camping cars, coming all the way from Turkey. And we crossed many countries like Iraq, like Jordan, like Saudi Arabia. And now we came from Jeddah via ship with our cars here to Djibouti. And we are enjoying some nice days here. Maybe it's sometimes a little bit hot, but anyway, very nice to be here finally, because we start our trip to all the countries from Eastern Africa down till South Africa. So our aim is to be in September down in Cape Town, where there will be the Great Finish, big party with all the people that made all this great and long trip. I think altogether we are crossing around 15 countries within 6 months. And it's all organized by a German travel agency called Abenteuer Touren, and thanks to a lot of partners.
And tonight, news we report on an important case where gendarmes from the research and documentation section arrested a man accused of falsifying official documents such as identity card, birth certificates, and property document. His aim was to deceive the public by selling them a false document during search. The police found a forged identity card and birth certificates as well as forged land ownership documents. These fraudulent acts are part of a worrying trend in which suspects have taken advantage of the situation of illegal immigrants to make easy money. In addition, these crooks allegedly sold fake plots of land by promising non existing plots, which enabled them to collect more than 80 million Djibouti francs. And after the first part of the investigation, the suspects were tried and sent to prisons of Gabon. And now let's turn to the international news. The Pakistani army claims to have shut down 25 Arab drones across several sites while operations continue. Dini has more.
Pakistani army claims to have shot down 25 Israeli-made Harub drones at multiple sites as operations. According to the army, one civil Pakistani soldiers were injured. These events follow the worst violence between the two nuclear-armed rival countries in 20 years. India confirmed the exchange of fire that occurred overnight from Wednesday to Thursday in Kashmir. New Delhi stated that Pakistan had attempted to strike several military targets using drones and missiles, but that it was neutralized by air defense systems.
Let's head now to East Jerusalem, where Israel closes UN schools for Palestinian children. Again with Dini.
Forces expelled children from UN schools in occupied East Jerusalem, many of whom left in tears. The Palestinian Authority called the closure a crime. On Thursday, Israel police closed several schools run by the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, 3 months after Israel's ban on its operations took effect. Israeli forces expelled the children present in 2 schools, many of whom left in tears. UNRWA, which operates these institutions, confirmed Israel's closure of 3 schools in the Palestinian refugee camp of Shofat in East Jerusalem, the eastern part of the city occupied and annexed by Israel since 1967. In 1949, UNRWA runs health center and schools in Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and other countries in the region.
Bill Gates will donate the majority of his fortune to his foundation. Report.
This is one of the most significant philanthropic initiatives in history. Bill Gates will donate his entire personal fortune to the Gates Foundation. The Microsoft co-founder made his announcement on Thursday. Bill Gates said he would donate 99% of his tech fortune to the Gates Foundation. Today, he estimates his fortune at 108 billion US dollars. This is one of the most significant commitments in the history of American philanthropy, considering inflation, explained the Associated Press. The donation is intended to be used by the foundation in the fight against disease and poverty worldwide. Bill Gates has set a goal for the Gates Foundation to spend 200 billion US dollars by 2045. The year will close its doors.
Well, that's it for tonight's news. Thanks for being with us and stay tuned for more program on RTD channel.